I joined the Jamaica Defence Force in March 1987. My training officer at the time was then Lieutenant Daniel Price, who is now Colonel Price. I served in 1 year as a major back in early 2000s. I was the commanding officer, the officer commanding Bravo Company. And call it, as you see, 12 years later, I'm back in as a commanding officer. So I've seen it from two levels. Certainly as a company commander, management was the name of the day. Managing your company, motivating your company. We're talking about nearly 100, 120 guys. Coming back as commanding officer, where I have 4 times that amount of men. Again, it only reinforces the joy of command.
We are first and foremost in what we do. We are a happy unit. We have events, competitions in which we develop and bring social cohesion to the battalion.
Being a member of the First Battalion, we stand firm to our motto, which is first and foremost. We strive to be the best at everything that we do, and most of all, we foster comradeship. I have a lot to live up to being a part of 1GR. It is a legacy where persons have gone beyond the call of duty and have outdone themselves.
Being at 1GR, I have a lot to live up to, simply because we are first and foremost, and a lot is expected of us, and also the standards of 1GR are very high. So therefore it requires a level of competence and as well as a certain level of adaptation and fast learning to really operate in 1GR. A lot is expected of an infantry soldier, and 1GR is no different. So certainly being at 1GR poses a challenge, and as well there are opportunities here as well. For sometimes the more challenging you find something to be, the more rewarding you find it also to be. And that's the type of mood that is here at 1GR.
There's a saying, train hard, fight easy. A lot depends on the level of training that your soldiers have to prepare them for the worst things that operations can throw at them. And I think we don't, nowadays if we're not careful, we don't spend enough time doing training.
When I joined the battalion, you had 1 or 3 duties. You're either on training, you're either on internal security duties, or you're on guard duty. And that would rotate. And you're talking about going on, that went on for, certainly in my experience, for a few years as well. And so you knew that there was a cycle, and every 3 months you get the opportunity for the entire company to do training. In those days, we went to Monique. It was a 6-month tour in Monique. The entire battalion was there. Training facilities that existed certainly within Lathbury Barracks, from 60s going right up, starting up to when I was a young officer, are not far different from what exists today. We had an assault course. 2-2 range in Lathbury Barracks was highly utilized in those days. The assault course to which I'm referring, however, isn't the one that is currently located at the northern end of the barracks. It was one that was located to the southern end of the barracks, where Charlie Company is now based, along with what used to be Delta and I believe Foxtrot Company were also based there. I think it stands to reason that the more operational committed you are, the more you should train. Certainly back in the 60s, early 70s, we were not as heavily involved or engaged as we are now. And so, for the most part, the military, there's a lot that the average person in the public would not know or understand. We were those entities that would appear every so often and then return to barracks. As time passed, we found that as we became more operation involved, the natural reaction would be that, certainly from the public's perspective, they became more familiar. And that is when it becomes far more challenging to maintain that level of, for want of a better word, mystique. I believe one of the things that we can certainly do to try and maintain certainly the high regard in which we are held is to maintain standards. Sometimes people refer to it as making sure or going back to basics. We really ought not to, and I think we're doing an exceedingly good job at it, certainly up to now. We really ought not to compromise our standards for anything or for anyone. Yes, we're far more transparent today, and therefore we're held accountable for our actions, and we are far more aware. But once we maintain our professionalism, once we act appropriately, once we are always accountable, especially to the people of this country, then I don't think we have anything to fear in that regard.
50 years from now, I see 1GR having Alpha Bravo, Charlie and Delta Company along with the usual headquarter company, and each company being at full strength. I see them being situated in Kingston, co-located with the other Infantry Regular Battalion. At this time, and we would have celebrated really 50 years just yesterday of Jamaica Defence Force, the soldiers of the First Battalion should be proud. Should be proud that they are here to have ended an era, and they're going to start the move for the future. They are the future, and I'll be looking to see what happens in maybe the next 25 years when I come back to visit, if I would have left.
I am proud to be the commanding officer in the chair at this time in history. History not only for the JDF, but history also for the nation. But I also am humbled that I couldn't have been here if commanding officers had not paved the way before me. And with that as a reminder, I also ask myself and I demand of myself that as I move forward day to day, the path that I am setting must be a path that's a legacy for the man who comes after me.